Hello, I'm Tony, and this is my sketchbook. The Shouty Ogre. In the middle of Shouty Forest lived the Shouty Ogre. He was called the Shouty Ogre because he shouted all the time. And Shouty Forest was called Shouty Forest because that was where the Shouty Ogre lived. All the rabbits and birds had left Shouty Forest long ago because the Shouty Ogre was just way too loud. And so Shouty Ogre lived all alone in the middle of Shouty Forest. Before he went to bed one night, Shouty Ogre said to himself, "I'm so lonely!" His loud and lonely voice echoed through the whole of the forest. Lonely! 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 His voice was so loud that it travelled out of the forest and across the field to where the rabbits lived. They felt very sorry for the Shouty Ogre, but what could they do? Then one of the rabbits had an idea. The next morning, when the Shouty Ogre woke up, he found that something had been placed under his head whilst he slept. "What's this?" shouted the Shouty Ogre. This! This! The rabbits on the edge of the wood heard him and hoped that their gift would work. "It's a cushion!" shouted the Shouty Ogre. When he looked closely at the cushion, he saw that some words had been sewn onto the front. And this is what the words said.
"Dear Shouty Ogre, this is your muffle cushion. Hold it up to your mouth when you speak."
And so the Shouty Ogre gave it a go, and his voice was no longer shouty. "I don't have a shouty voice anymore," shouted the Shouty Ogre into his muffle cushion. All the rabbits and birds came back into Shouty Wood, and the Shouty Ogre was never lonely again. "I'm so happy!"
"Pardon?"
said a rabbit. The shouting poem! You have to shout this poem, no matter where you are. Even in a library, shout ha 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 ha! You have to shout this poem. Don't read it in your head, even if it's late at night and everyone's in bed. You have to shout this poem. That's what it's written for. And now it's getting louder. So let's all shout some more. You have to shout this poem. Give this. You have to shout this poem. Give this verse your best. For now the poem's ending. So give your voice a rest.
Get ad-free episodes on the Wizz app.